Lily here, and welcome to this episode of Inside the Artist Studio. I'm here with JK Russ, and we are in her Las Vegas Artist Studio. So JK Russ, I have a few questions for you. Is JK Russ your real name?
Well, I use just my initials when I'm talking about my artwork because I quite like then that people don't know if I'm male or female. It's a little bit of a surprise until they meet me, of course, and then they know.
So what is your real name? What's your full name?
My mom and dad called me Joanne. So JK stands for Joanne Katrina Russ.
Cool. What kind of art do you make?
I mostly make collage. I do some using scissors and glue, kind of old style, you know, cut and paste.
Yeah.
And then these collages here, I've used both those techniques, and then these are put into a computer and then printed out.
When did you start making art? And what would you make?
I always really liked drawing. From when I was quite young, I used to do lots and lots of drawing.
I love drawing.
I started probably making collage just before I moved to Las Vegas, and it was about 8 years ago. I've been doing lots of collage ever since I came from New Zealand to Las Vegas.
Wow. Where are you from and where do you live now?
I jumped in on that. So I'm from New Zealand. I was living in a small town, Honolulu, in New Zealand before coming here. Came here with my husband, Matthew Cooper, and we've stayed in Vegas the whole time. We just love Vegas. It's such an interesting city, right?
What was it like where you were originally from?
Well, there's not a lot of desert in New Zealand. There's really only one very small area of desert, so for me this is really new and cool. It's very green. You're never too far from a beach, which is quite nice. But it's a long way away from anywhere else except Australia. So,
wow. What's the process behind your art?
a lot of it is collecting the old magazines. I love old magazines and I use those for different resource materials. So I think about an image I want to make and then I go looking through my old books and magazines for what I can find that's going to help make it, and then I get out my scissors and I do the cut and paste and hopefully it all comes together.
Cool. What is your art about?
I think a lot of my art kind of talks about what it's like living here in the desert. These ones here have all got like local Las Vegas people who were willing to be photographed by me, and then I've kind of added these desert flowers, desert cactus. So it's kind of about, you know, when you're living here in this quite tough kind of desert environment, you've got to learn to be a little bit tough as well, I think, to survive and kind of do well. So that's kind of what it's about.
What inspired you to make this kind of art?
Well, there's something that I love, I think, with collage. You can put a whole lot of crazy things together. You know, photography's fun, but you're kind of restricted by what you're looking at. So for me, you know, I love the freedom of kind of working in this way and kind of putting some strange things together and creating something that's a little bit different than what you see when you're walking down the street.
So JK Russ, what is your favorite artist?
Oh, I like lots of artists, but probably my very favourite inspirational artist is Hannah Hock, a German artist who does a lot of collage. She really inspires me.
These chairs are really comfy. So how did you make them?
Oh, thank you. Well, underneath here are bean bags, which is why they're nice and comfortable. And then I've been printing my collages onto these rugs. So these have got a little bit of, you can see the kind of torn background. Just a little bit of the actual paper collage in behind us. It's kind of tucked in a bit behind these kind of little pillars. But so this is where I ripped up the paper and I pasted it on, and then I photographed it and printed it out onto these rugs. Yeah.
It feels really nice right now. Oh. So, what is your favorite song right now?
I would have to pick a song by Lorde. Do you know Lorde, that Kiwi, that New Zealand singer?
I think I may know her.
You've probably
It
heard
sounds
her.
familiar. She sings Royals.
Because she's been one of the biggest, I guess, Kiwi musicians who's kind of performed over here too. I saw her at Hard Rock a little while ago, so yeah, I love her work.
So, why did you dye your hair pink?
I dyed my hair pink because for a long time I never used to be very colourful. In New Zealand, a lot of people just wear black all the time.
So you were always like very dark.
Yes, very dark, a little bit gloomy.
Gloomy?
So I'm trying to be a little brighter and more colourful. I'm trying to get a little more colourful with my work as well.
I can tell. Really bright in here. What do you like to do in your free time?
Oh, in my free time, I like going to see different shows, some of the big shows on the strip. I love burlesque shows as well. And just getting out and seeing, you know, art as much as possible. So yeah, I love the art classes for kids, and I was, you know, really happy to have worked a little bit with one of those sessions, and you know, got to see all these kids making really amazing work. So yeah, I love, you know, work by all ages, I guess, and yeah, I think a lot of the kids' work is so inspirational as well.
What's your favorite pizza flavor?
Oh.
That's just good, huh?
My favorite pizza flavor is probably the one with all the white cheese, and I love any sort of cheese. Give me, yeah, 3 lots of cheese on a pizza and I'm happy.
Yeah. What's your favorite band?
My favorite band?
Music band.
There's a really interesting band playing out of India called Bloodywood, and they ride around on camels while they play their guitars. So it's like Bollywood, but kind of a metal version. They're kind of cool.
That may be really hard for them.
Right?
Yeah. Why did you decide to make this your career? Career!
I've always enjoyed making artwork. When I was young, I used to draw a whole lot. My dad was always he was really into art. He painted a lot too, so I think he kind of really encouraged me. So I think it's good to get that kind of encouragement right when we're young, you know, to make work. And yeah, and I've just been doing collage probably about the last 10 years or so.
Do you have any new shows coming up, and where would you have them?
I have got a show coming up soon in the Clark County Rotunda Gallery. So it's going to be some of these works with these different Las Vegas people who were very kind to let me photograph them, and then add these flowers and cactus heads and things like that to them. So yeah, that's coming up in August.
One last question. Can we walk around and see what you're doing around here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be delighted. You can see, right, that these kind of orange rugs, they're kind of like the daytime rock version. So this is my one that I cut and tore all the paper, and then I glued it on, and then I photographed it, and then I printed the photographs on the rugs. So I've kind of got daytime, you know, the bright orange. This is red rock.
Like nighttime.
Yeah, and the nighttime ones, shades, exactly. So I turned everything blue, even the people, and so I've kind of got some day and some night in the desert. Yeah.
So what's over here?
And then in behind here, these are from when I did a project P3 Studio, and it was called House of Paper Birds. You can see there's some bird ladies in there.
Bird ladies!
And I kind of put those up first, and then people came through over the next weeks, tore up all the paper, they kind of made the rock desert, they made the sky, and we pasted these on the windows inside the studio. And then at the end I managed to peel them off, and yeah, I've kept them here in the studio because I just kind of like having lots and lots of people added to these, so I like having that energy around.
So,
yeah.
What is this painting about?
So this is a Matthew Cooper painting, and it's all about aliens. So I think too, for us, you know, coming here from New Zealand, we get called aliens when we come into the country because we're from somewhere else. So this is a painting about lots of different types of aliens, right? Do you recognize some of the aliens in
I
this?
recognize this one from like a video game.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
some of them
this
come...
is E.T.
Uh-huh. Yes.
What is this space right here?
So this is kind of my workspace, and as you can see here, there's just a bunch of the
Oh, so this
paper.
is what you did
Yeah.
for that one.
Exactly. So before I started pasting on the wall, I ripped all these pieces up. So this is what takes a long time as well, right?
Yeah.
So this is
So what
photographs
is
from
this?
red rocks.
What is this? Is this a like piece of art?
Yeah, so this is some more bird ladies, and this is not Nevada, right? But this is somewhere in the southwest. Have you ever seen these kind of rocks?
They
So
look
it's
like
trees.
houses.
Yes, exactly.
So is the
it's
background like spin art?
Yeah.
Cool. Or
So it's made on a record, right? Have you done it before?
Yeah, but like not on a record. Or-
Right. So I had an old record player, and I would sit this on the record player, and then I would just get my paint right and
and then it would spin,
yeah,
spin,
it would spin around.
and then just put paint on it and then spin and make a cool design.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. And then I'd collage on top. So I did a whole bunch of those, but I haven't got many left.
Well, that's great. So, thank you kids for watching, and thank you so much, JK Russ.
Thank you, Lily.
So that's it for today. Keep making cool art. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below any project requests you have for us.
And check out our Instagram and Facebook page at Art Classes for Kids.